So, real quick, um, I was making a post about these handlers, which are seem to be these happy celebrity couples, but in fact they're not happy at all. They're literally prisoners of their handler. They're planted there. They're under a heavy demonic and spell work and entities. Um, and even when they break up, because say that they finally rebuke the entities, say they finally call upon God, they turn to God and not Google. They and say these women pretend to be like cool cucumbers. Oh, we're co-parenting. Oh, we're coexisting. Oh, I decided we were better off as friends. They in absolutely no way are okay. They're losing their shit behind closed doors. They're trying 10 times harder to trap these people back in their relationships, guys and girls, because there's no way they want that to lose the energy. You have to understand this is about energy. This is a spiritual warfare, and these broads and these bullied boys are demons. They literally are using the shit to live forever, to get rich, to gain access to the money, to the energy. Because again, there's something more worth more than money, which is souls. So I just seen a thing where Youngblood gave Ozzy Osbourne a necklace, a cross, but it wasn't like a regular cross. Now, mind you, again, you have to be mindful when people touch you because they try to pass on entities or steal your energy. So there was and again, Ozzy tried to be a friend to Youngblood, and Sharon was in the background like she always is. But God forgive me for making that mocking little face, but I know that he knows her heart, and I know that he knows mine. But Ozzy was trying to tell Youngblood to be mindful of his soul, to protect him. He gave him a cross and told him don't take it off because, again, he knew what's going on in Hollywood. He knows, but he doesn't know. Because, again, he's very much trapped by one of these demon witches in this cults and covens. And, again, you can see a point where Youngblood tries to touch Ozzy and his legs start shaking and he tries to remove his grasp. But then he tricks them with this gift and he pretends like it's a cross, but it's not the proper cross. It's and again, so what's going on right now behind the video, and it sounds far-fetched, but it's very much true, is Youngblood is trying to swap with Ozzy, take his creative soul, his spiritual essence, and Sharon's like behind it because again she's part of this shit and there's something, and again Ozzy's beat all the odds. If you think about it, all the drugs he did, all the concert tours, all the work, and every time they thought he was going to die, there he is, just still going strong. And Sharon is very much his handler. She's very much not the good, kind person that we believed her to be, that she portrayed. The Kardashian, when people joke about them being man-eaters or up to something nefarious, they have no idea what's really going on and how accurate that statement really is. When Blake Lively was talking about her being the queen and or something, Khaleesi's, and having an army of dragons with her, Taylor Swift being one of them, that's because they are dragons, and that's because she is a part of these cults and covens and corrupt churches and portraying themselves to be humans, but they're not humans the way that you or I are humans. They're just not. And another thing, I made a video post about how like these people are on here preaching and asking for money, or they're like, oh, blah, 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 plucking on your heartstrings, donate this, donate that. A big thing about energy and attention, because that's what they're gutting for. That's what the commodity is. So you see a video and they're like, type 666-777-333, angel number 1414 to get this blessing. It's actually a trick and a trap. You're literally allowing them to siphon your spiritual essence, and that puts crack in your armor to allow them to either infiltrate your mind and body space, or to put dream, even your dream space, and to which then they can take over your spiritual or suit. Like, because again, in your dreams you have a body, right? You're still you, but your body's still asleep. But then they can take over and they can do things. But there's also a way to keep you to stay asleep, to take over your life completely, and keep, because again, these people are money hungry. That's why they're addicted to shopping, addicted to plastic surgery. They need to find the next victim. Another thing for men, most, even women, but again, mostly men, to be aware of is when you're out at like casinos or parties, and like the most beautiful woman comes up to you and just suddenly wants to like touch on you and go to bed with you, right? Whether you're with a partner or not with a partner, this is a game that they play where because again, I was telling you before about this magic and this illusion, spells work, and herbs and essence and disguise, makeup, whatever, for lack of better terms, that they use to make children look like adults. So you go to bed with them, and then you don't realize this because probably you got drunk, or they harvested so much energy out of you because they're sex demons and witches, that you're literally blackout drunk. So then they transform back into their normal body size, which is a child, and they have photographs of it. So now they're being blackmailed when later on in life, because now you fucked a child. Excuse my language, but this is what they do. And again, never be afraid to speak up. Like, if this happens to you, this is a terrible thing, because who wants to admit, especially somebody who has a good heart and a good soul and would never, ever do these things. But don't be afraid to speak up, because God will protect you. God knows your heart. God knows your intentions. And again, they can't get away with this. But the only way they get away with it is because people are afraid to speak up about it. People are afraid to go on to YouTube. People are afraid to go to the police stations. And again, I had to go to the police station and say, hey, I watched someone get shot in the head, but listen to what they did. This is why they were shot in the head, because they were a part of a gang rape and pedophile fucking ring, and somebody was put their foot down and like stood up and stood their ground. So yeah, boo-hoo, it's sad that he died, but again, he was a bad person, and just like God has the angel of death, sometimes they have to, this is what people don't understand too. We need humans and spirits, angels, that can walk not walk the line, because I've been telling you about, you can't ride the fence. You have to pick one team or the other, because again, you can't walk in the line. Even though Johnny Cash has got a great song, I Walk the Line, you can't walk the line, bro, because the devil snatches your ass right up. He owns the fence. But anyway, but God will get you through. God needs to build his army. God needs to be aware. And again, there's so much pollution and demonic, because again, it says in the Bible, when they fell, this domain, this land, this is the devil's territory. Now, right now, there's a war, and it's been going on for a long time, but even the war was being won through nefarious and false operations, or the rules and regulations and participants were not acting accordingly. They were not following the policies and procedures that heaven and hell both are bound to. So again, the only way to make these changes is for someone to speak up. And just so you know, it does only take one person to change all the lies that the world has ever known. It really does. And sometimes it's a really scary thing. It's really fucking hard to go and even admit to yourself and look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I was a part of this, or this happened to me. And then to be stuck in the same house where these things happen to you, or in the same neighborhood and again, to be used as a tool by God to be these people's test, to be the bait, to put yourself back in a situation where, because again, God is a great Father. He is forgiving, He is loving, and He will give you chances. And again, it is important to be kind and to not match hate with hate. And even when people do bad things, because especially when you're aware that they're under drugs, alcohol, spell work, misunderstandings, misconstrued information, and hurt people. But so you should be kind. You should give them a chance to change their actions, to learn, to wisen up, to wake up, to turn to God, to apologize and be accountable for it. But and that can be hard. But again, it can be done, and it can be done. And God He's not going to put you through these things for no reason. And again, you shouldn't be doing these things out of to get people punished, right? Speaking up, you shouldn't tell tattletale to get people punished, but you should tell to bring justice, to protect others. No matter how embarrassing or shameful it is for yourself or how hard it is, always just, that you're walking with God, you're walking with Jesus, and that the things will be made right in the end, but you have to put in work. You have to go through the steps, top to bottom. You have to because again, I've seen this thing where a teacher has a ball on the table and these two top dogs in the class were meant to stand in front of the ball and tell the class what color the ball was. And one guy's like, the ball is white, and the other guy's like, the ball is black. And they're about to go to blows over it. Like, bro, what are you talking about? You just lied just to lie. You just like to make problems. But then now the teacher says, okay, close your eyes, walk around the desk, and now look at the ball and tell the class what you see. And both of the guys are like, because of course, the side that they saw originally is not what the other one saw. The ball was cut in half, and each side of the ball was a different color. But from their perspective, they both were completely right. But just because your perspective and your perception is right doesn't mean that someone else's perspective and perception is wrong. So, yeah, that's all I have on this video, I suppose, until God calls me to share something else. I hope you have a wonderful day.